Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mrs. Morgan's Math Minutes, the flipped out version. This is 9.4. Today we're going to discuss what looks like complicated equations and how we might solve them. For example, suppose you and one of your friends are collecting baseball cards. You have a certain number, and your friend has 5 more than you have. Altogether, you have 19 baseball cards, and you want to figure out how many each of you have. First, we need to define our variable. Let's let C stand for the number of cards that you have. Your friend then has 5 more than you. So C plus 5 represents the number your friend has. The equation we would develop for the total number of baseball cards would be the number of cards that you have plus the number of cards that your friend has, and that equals 19. Let's solve that equation. Because the only operation used is addition, the order in which we add is not important. So we can put together the two C's because they are like terms. So 2C plus 5 equals 19. Subtract 5 from each side, and 2C equals 14. And finally, divide by 2 so that the number of cards you have is 7. And 7 plus 5 is 12, so the number of cards your friend has is 12. Let's try a little more difficult problem. If you are in a bookstore and you're organizing the books that are in boxes, and you take some books from each box and make 3 stacks: fiction, nonfiction, and children's. If the first box has 31 books and the nonfiction stack has 5 fewer books than the fiction, and the children's has 15 more than the fiction, what is an equation you can write to represent this situation? The first box has 31 books, nonfiction has 5 fewer books than fiction, and children's has 15 more than fiction. We can see that each amount of books is being compared to the fiction books. Therefore, we would like for our variable, let's choose F, to stand for fiction. So the fiction books would be F. 5 fewer, F minus 5, would be the number of nonfiction books, and 15 more, 5 plus 15, would be the number of children's books. We can add these together, and we know that they equal the total number of books, which is 31. So our equation is F plus F plus 5 plus, F minus 5 plus F plus 15 equals 31. If we put all our F's together, we have to be careful. We have F, F, F. There are 3 F's, but we must pay special attention to this negative sign, or minus. So we're subtracting 5 and adding 15. That would be 10, and that equals 31. So our first step is to put together like terms to make it a simpler equation. This type of equation you already know how to solve. Subtract 10. 3F equals 21. Divide by 3. F equals 7. Now we're going to look at some equations that are already created and some difficult mathematical operations that could trip us up. Our first example involves distributing a negative sign. For example, let's just take this expression and not worry about solving it, but pay special attention to this negative sign or subtraction sign. So we have 2, and then we need to subtract everything that is inside the parenthesis. Basically, there's a -1 right here, and we distribute the -1. Keep the 2. -1 times 2x is -2x. -1 times -3, a negative times a negative, is a positive 3. So think of the positive sign and adding as the same, and think of the negative sign and subtracting as the same, and you won't get tripped up. You should be ready to try Study Guide 9.4. There are examples at the top to help you, and you can look back at this particular slide if you have trouble distributing the negative sign. Good luck!